we know how to keep your horse away, how to save your life. If it comes a tractor the other side, you can shoot your hand up, keep her away from you. You can save your feet, you can save yourself from falling, and you can have the start of trotting in the ring. And the next step is to tell her on a loose lead, my friend, you stand still. We have practiced this. Now you should stay still, but I will not. So now I need to think how she sees me. How a horse looks at a person, trying to explain with no words, no pulling, no pushing, that you should stay. Can you stay? I will go. So I do that by keeping my hand high. Because when you're in front of someone and you put your hands up, it's logic to you to keep away from that. And there are many ways of teaching this. I never say one way is right or one is wrong, but this works super well for us because it's logical to the horse. So now, if I like her to stay still, I'm going to put my hand high. And when I'm in front of the horse, I put my whip on the other hand. So this I need also to do smoothly when I need to move around and go in front of the horse. And by the time I'm in front of the horse to stand her up, I should already have this arranged, that my whip is here. So this, I need also to have a check on the end of my whip. Because when I like to change, many people touch when they change, or not thinking at all about what this is. So I need to be smooth, not to disturb her with the whip, because I want her sensitive to the whip. Any movement of my shoulder or whip, she reacts to. So I need to keep this out of the way, put it behind on my shoulder, and then I keep my hand high. So this is for me asking her, would you please stay while I move? And I will not stretch her patience. I'm just going to ask her a few seconds. If she stands still, not moving one foot, I'm going to go reward her. Very good girl. Very good girl. Super good girl. Yes, super good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. The whip is an important tool for me. It's my fingertip that explains to her. And she's very sensitive to that because I've made her sensitive. I have never touched her in her whole life more than this. And because of that, it does not need much for her to react to it. Because she gets a release from this. And she can stop. But if I'm hard to my horse, I desensitize her. So I must be harder and harder for her actually to do what I ask. Because she will take it. It's called learned helplessness. A horse learns to cope with uncomfort, still doing what he must, because he has no other way. He has no choice. I like to give her a choice. I will annoy her a little with my whip, the little touch. When I have a reaction, she can choose never to be annoyed, never to be touched. It's her choice. She's not going to be punished when trying. Even if she tries and does the wrong thing, I will reward her because it's a try. And when she dares to try, she will have easier to guess. And she will guess different ways. When I move around, I just move around. If you think you don't know me at all, I need to teach you something and I start to do this, how can you know? If I scare you, you're not going to dare to guess. If I encourage you, you get reward every time, you're going to guess. And when it's right, you get release immediately. You're going to search for that. You're going to train me to be sensitive with you. And that's what I try to do with her. To make her train me to release. So, now again, she knows to keep distance, forward, stopping, and she starts to know to stand still. She's sensitive because she also knows very well to go backwards for my hand. That will come later. So I need to be cautious when I walk, that my hand is steady. If I move it towards her and up and down, she's going to react to that because she's eager to react to this hand. So I need to be like a chicken's head, still with this hand when I walk around her. Not to move it towards her. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Super girly. Very good girly. So all the first steps of training, they're going very, very slowly and calmly. And I like her to be steady on this. Not worry. We're usually starting inside the barn, these first steps. Nothing is disturbing at all. It's very quiet, no horses are passing, and we train all those steps, maybe 10 or 15 minutes every day. Once I feel she starts to be steady, to stand still, she knows to walk, she knows to stop, we're going to go outside to do. It's a little more to see, it's a little more difficult for her, but we train again the very first steps. When I feel she starts to be steady and focus on me, even with disturbing elements around, we're going to make someone pass with a horse, or make someone drive with the car behind you, or someone train a horse in the paddock while you're doing the same things, so that she can do this also where it's stressful. If I only train this where it's super calm, it's going to be difficult for her at the show to focus. But we always start to try to make it easy for her, that I have a chance to reward her. I don't like to put her in a situation when I know I will have to correct her. I prefer to make it super easy, reward her, and teach her to be patient and wait for the reward. For that will make her tolerant to outside elements.
4 quick steps to preparing your horse at the standing. Step 1. Always make sure that your horse can see you properly to read your body language. Step 2. Once the horse stops, smoothly move the whip to your other hand and place it behind your shoulder. Step 3. Show your horse it should stand still by lifting the hand that's holding the lead in front of its eyes. Mind to keep your hand steady at all times. Step 4. Start by doing this for a few seconds. This will prevent your horse from losing patience. Reward your horse for the good job.
Once she knows to stand still, I will have to tell her now we're going to walk both. So I'm going to walk backwards, she's going to walk forward, and then I like to stop her on the correct hind leg, like she should do in the ring. That means her right hind leg stays in front of the left hind leg. So now, if I want to explain her to start to walk, I must tell her road is free. I will also pull very slightly. Yeah, I know, girly. When I have a reaction of walk from her, I release immediately and I start to walk. So I like her to be sensitive for pressure. If she gives me a little bit, I will give her 2. Okay. So a little bit pressure. Not pulling hard, but keeping the pressure, keeping the question. If she doesn't want to come, I'm not going to release. I'm going to ask my question until she takes a step to walk. And then we walk both. When I want to stop her, I put my hand up, because she knows when my hand is up here, she should park. And I do that just when she lifts her right hind leg. Then she has time enough to think, oh, she stops me. So, one more time, if you look at the right hind leg and my hand, just when it lifts, you lift too. Then they just have time enough to stop. Good girl. And then again, you ask her to stay still. My hand is high. Road is open. We walk. Stop. Good girl. And when? Now, I'm gonna teach her later to keep away from this hand and back her. And that means I will push her from front. But I'm going to explain her already, because when she does something really good, I like to rush up to her to reward her. I'm going to have to explain her the difference. I'm not pushing you now. Even if I come fast, I'm going to come to reward you. So you don't need to think about me pushing you backwards. So I'm using my shoulder too to tell I'm not pushing you. I'm coming to you. And that's a difference for her later when she has to back off, when I come like this or like this. This is no pressure. It's like when you walk in the supermarket and you should pass a lot of people. You do this and everyone knows unspokenly that you're going to go that way. It's the same with her. She can learn very easily the difference with me pushing or with me coming. Shoulders are important. Good girl, you're so good. Come. Here. Yes.
Tips. Teach your horse the correct position of hind legs by giving the stop signal while its right hand leg is lifted. When you are going to reward it, mind the position of your shoulders. Walk toward the horse with a closed shoulder as to avoid him, to differentiate from the walk backward signal, both shoulders open.
So now we have a little control on walking, stopping. She can stay while I walk. She knows how to release pressure and walk with me. And she knows how to stop when I ask her. So I now need to make it more complex for her, because when I have my hand high, she has to pull her handbrake and stay still, and she doesn't move. So we have practiced that and she knows it. But now I must explain to her, you're not going to move your hind legs, but you're going to move your front legs. So how do I explain that without words to her? I'm going to try to show her the difference when I talk to her hind and when I talk to her front. So when I talk to front legs, I still keep my hand high, but I use sideway movements only. So when I like to ask her front legs to move one step, I'm going to make my lead rope a little shorter. That doesn't mean I pull her. I make my arm longer and lead rope shorter. And then I'm going to pull her out of balance. Keep my hand high to tell her to stay there. And then I'm going to pull her to the side. Out of balance. Because horses are not strong at all sideways, so you can move. And when she moves a step to compensate, I release and tell her super good girl. So I actually reward her for compensating her balance. And that will teach her that sideway movement. Very quickly she will learn my sideway movement will ask her front legs only. Good girl. Perfect. Super. Very good. Yes. You're a very good girl. So one more time. Come. Walking. Stopping. Sideway. So this I teach her by shortening my lead, pulling her out of balance to the side, releasing when I get the front leg. Good girl. Super. And then I like to keep her here. So I keep my hand high. So it's again the practice of standing still until I ask. Good girl. Perfect. Super. That's a good girl.
3 quick steps to fix the leg's position. Step 1. Shorten the lead and stretch your arm in front of the horse while keeping it still at eye height, as to maintain the standstill signal. Step 2. Gently pull left or right to drive your horse out of balance. Step 3. Reward your horse when you get the front leg's reaction.
So already, if you never showed your horse before, and you go for the first time into the ring, and your horse gives you attention, he knows how to stop, he knows how to stay still, and how to move the front legs. It's already looking like a nice picture in front of the judge. And because we work with body language, and because I encourage her to want to look at me, I get the ears for free. She will like to show me attention, and she will like to give me her ears. She's not bored. She's looking for my next step. So this is something I get from her because it makes sense to her and it's pleasant for her to look at me. So now the next step, before I teach the neck, is to teach her to keep away from this hand. So this hand, when it's high, makes her park and stand still. When I move towards her with this hand, she needs to keep away from it. So when I take a step forward, she needs to move out of that. If she doesn't, I will do just like when I walk next to her. I will ask with my shoulder, I will show her, and I will touch her if she doesn't move. Now again, if I take a step towards her, I like her to lean back equally much. If she doesn't, I will say, I will touch your shoulder. If she still doesn't move, I will touch her shoulder, just like this. Good. Until I want her to stop backwards. So that will teach her quickly. When my hand is high, I take a step to her, she will move backwards without warning. Shouldn't she? I will warn. Good. And again, she was never touched harder than this. But, good girl. She tries to train me to come to do this. So she's eager to please me and to see what I mean with my hand. And this will never hurt her, but it's not as comfy, of course, than this. So it's an easy choice for her. Good girl. So once she learns that, I walk her. I can back her anytime with this hand. So this hand is also both emergency brake and a backward tool. So I can correct the hind leg that comes by mistake. I can correct and back her one step. Or I can just back her from walk to get some attention from her. Or I can just put more weight on her heel. So when I put weight on her heel, it's preparation for giving her neck. When I put weight on her heel, it means she comes higher in front. She's put more weight on her hind part, and it will be easier for her to give her neck beautifully. And I'm not going to teach. It's very easy to teach how to give the neck. But this I will do at the very, very end, because everyone starts to teach the neck too early, before you can move her heel with only one finger. So everyone that want to learn to show should put 95% of effort into these first steps that we have done. And then the last little second will be teaching the neck. Good girl, you're so good.
Tips. Keep your arm up at eye height. Bend toward the horse and bring your hand close to its face. This will show signal of walking backwards. If the horse shows no response, show shoulder movements for I will touch you with the whip. In case this doesn't work, gently poke it with the whip. Reward your horse when you get the desired reaction.
So I'm going to explain to you how we start to teach the first steps of giving the neck. And this is the very last part that we teach. And if you start this too early, you're going to have a horse that's heavy in front. So you need first to have all the steps we have practiced. Stopping, starting, hind legs, front legs, backwards, leaning back, so that you can have a horse that puts his weight behind. Because when he does, he will come higher and lighter in front, and his neck will come also higher automatically. But when I start to teach the first steps, I will not ask her legs. I will just introduce her to the idea of searching for my open hand. So I like her to aim to these fingers that's open. My other hand is closed. So this hand is backwards, stopping, keeping away from, no. And my open hand is the one she should search for and try to touch. Good. So how I teach this, we just start, we can start this inside the stable or anywhere. I just hold a little pressure, just keep the line straight, and then I touch her in front of her neck. Good. And what the horse will do naturally when you touch in front of the neck, he will react. And I will then, when he reacts, meet her nose with my finger so that it touches. When it touches, I give her release and I go tell her super good girl. Put the head down, scratch her, give her carrots, so that she gets a feeling for something with my open hand is comfortable. So I like her to get the idea of searching for that, to get her release. And when I touch her in front of the neck, she will also learn to give her neck over my hand, so that the neck is not coming out straight and low, but high above. So this, keeping a little pressure, touching, making her aim. When she learns it, she does not need to give the neck high or stand perfect or put weight on her hind legs. This is just another letter we're making for her. And once she has an idea, I'm going to start to put the steps together. So again, a little bit of pressure. They learn this very quickly. Touch. Good. Very good girl. Very good. Yes, very good girl.
Giving the neck. Keep one hand closed in front of your horse. This means stop. Put your other hand open in front of your horse and let him try to touch your fingers. Reward your horse immediately, even if it wasn't a perfect stand.
So again, a little bit of pressure, and she already knows now what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to touch, so she can avoid that by already trying. Meaning, I don't need to touch. Thank you, horse. I'm not going to touch just for the touching. That is for me upfront punishment. I will give her the chance when she has an idea. Would you like me to touch you? She says, no, I come. Thank you, horse. Wonderful. And it's exactly the same like sending or stopping the horse. Would you like me to touch you? She says, no. I said, of course not. So once the horse has an idea of that, I can start to put it together a little bit. Stop her on the hind legs. Ask her the front legs. One more. And then I ask her again, would you? She says yes. Maybe you would also after leaning back. She says yes. So I can start to introduce her to leaning and giving. Once she has an idea of that, I can start to make her understand that I talk to different parts of her body. This hand talks to her body, tells her to put her heel down, stay away from this hand. This hand asks her to come only with her neck. So I can have her stay here with her body, talking to this hand. This hand comes, she knows, I will come with my neck. So that's my goal, that she stays behind with her whole body. If I feel she comes forward with her heel, I ask her, could you go back again? And then come with your hand. Not with your hand, with your neck. So it's like different questions, and it's not difficult for her to understand the difference. Closed hand, move away from me. Open hand, come, touch it. Good. Yes.
Thanks for watching Lesson 3. Remember the 3 steps of standing. Stop and wait. Teach your horse to stop and wait still. Fix the legs. Fix the position of the legs. The weight must be on the hind legs. Giving the neck. Show your horse your open hand and let it try to touch your fingers.